This is the Maker GSM, and it comes with this dipole antenna, which I've already connected. So there's this cable that goes from the dipole antenna to the Maker GSM board. And what's different here is that behind it you're able to attach a SIM card, and you can it's a certain form factor, so you're going to have to either cut it down to size, or if you have a really small one, as I do, you're going to have to use an adapter to get it working. But the Maker GSM itself is the same form factor as the Maker Wi-Fi, and this is the Maker ENV shield that we'll be working with later on. And I've connected the VIN and the ground to this buck converter. You can get a buck converter from Amazon or anywhere else. And then I'm using this 9-volt battery. I'm using this 9-volt battery with a header that comes out and then goes into the buck converter. Buck converter has a power button that you can turn on and off, and then there are all of these headers that you can use to tap for power. Of course, if you've got a benchtop power supply, then just go ahead and use that. Now you need the buck converter because the GSM radio or module can't be powered via your 3.3 volts, so you're going to need 5 volts power, and so that's what we need the buck converter for. And that's it. We've got our setup now, the ENV shield on top of that, and this, and you can simply power everything via this buck converter. So you'll see once I do this, it gets power, and that's it.
Let's look at a sketch that will let us make a phone call using the Maker GSM. First thing we want to do is go to our board manager and make sure that we have the necessary drivers for the board. And in this case, I'm just searching for Maker GSM, and that will give you the board option. And you can go ahead and install it if it's not already installed. And then next, on line 1, I include Maker GSM, and then on line 3, I include Arduino secrets. Arduino secrets has a definition for secret phone that has the phone number that we're going to be calling. On line 7, we create an instance of GSM and then an instance of GSM voice call. Now, everything that we do is in the setup because we want to execute all of the script once. We don't want to keep making phone calls in the loop. That's for this example. In a real life application, you'll check for something and then make a call. So our setup starts from line 10, and on line 13, you see that we wait for the serial monitor to be open before we continue execution. And then we set connected to false, and then while that is in that state of false on line 19, we check that we haven't made a GSM connection. And then on line 20, we try to initialize the GSM modem. If that works, we set connected to true. Otherwise, we print out an error message and then we wait for a second. Now, when we're able to initialize the GSM when we're able to initialize the GSM module, we then place a call and hang up. And all of that happens on line 30, which is a function. So let's look at the function definition, which is on line 38. And on line 38, what we do is we define the function call and hang up. And on line 30, we just print out what we're attempting to do, which is attempting to place a call. And then on line 40, we show the phone number we're trying to call for debug purposes so that if there's an error, we know. On line 42, we attempt to make the phone call using the voice call method of VCS, and we pass in the phone number. If that works, we log the information to our serial monitor. So we say call established, hanging up in 3 seconds. So basically we'll place a call, wait 3 seconds and hang up. And then we wait 3 seconds and then we hang up the call. And that's it, call ended. So we're using the Maker GSM and there are instructions for how to connect the external power supply. It's called a buck converter. You need 5 volts to power the GSM radio as well as the antenna. You also need to connect a dipole antenna to the GSM board and ensure that you have a SIM card connected. And with that, we're ready to upload our sketch. And I'll just power on the buck converter from this end and then upload the sketch. Sketch is done uploading, so let's see if this works this time around. Okay, so our module has been initialized and it's attempting to make a call, and waited 3 seconds and then ended the call. So there we have it working. Let's attempt to receive a message using the microcontroller. I have the IDE open as well as the sketch. And on the first line, we can see that we're making use of the Maker GSM library. And on line 3, we create an instance of the GSM object, the GSM class. And then we create an instance of GSM SMS. We'll create 2 character arrays. The one on line 6 holds the phone number that we're receiving the message from, and the one on line 7 holds the message. Within our setup, we will pause execution until the serial monitor is open, and then we will attempt to initialize the GSM modem. If that works, we'll print out an update. And then within our loop, we'll just continuously check for whether we've received an SMS. And then if we did, we will extract the phone number of the sender and put that into the from number array. And then we will print that out. And then we will iterate and try to read over the message that was sent and write that into a character array and also print that out. And that's all there is to this. So let's put on our microcontroller and upload our sketch. Okay, so let's Attempt to upload a sketch to our microcontroller. Our upload is complete, so let's open our serial monitor and let's wait to see the modem get initialized. Okay, so our modem was initialized and there was a message from the network that was waiting to come in, and we can see messages have come in. And you can see the messages from a shortcode. And I can still go ahead and send a message. And I say, hello, maker GSM 1400. And there it is. This is the actual message. I'm not sure why the network sent an additional message, but there we have it. We're receiving SMS. Let's send temperature and humidity data via SMS. I have the Arduino IDE open, and we're going to be making use of the Maker GSM. The first 3 lines include the libraries that we need. Line 5 gives us a variable that will let us hold the last time that we iterated over our code. And we want to do this every 60 seconds. So that's basically every minute. Note that this is just an example, so you don't want to leave this running for long. Line 7 will hold our temperature and humidity values. And line 8 has our station ID, which is a constant. We will send SMS to a phone number, and that phone number is declared in our Arduino secrets. Lines 12 and 13 let us instantiate certain objects that we need for GSM access. On line 16, we have our setup code. On line 18, we will set our baud rate for serial communication and also connect to the serial port for listening. On line 19, we will pause execution until the serial port is open. On line 20, we will attempt to initialize our ENV shield. If that fails, we will notify on line 21, delay for 10 seconds, and then try again. And when we're able to initialize the ENV shield, we log that output via serial. On line 28, we attempt to initialize our GSM module. And if that works, we then proceed with our code. Otherwise, we again notify via the serial port. And as soon as we're able to get our GSM module up, we log that data out on lines 35 and 37. And then we loop. So on line 42, we check to see that enough time has elapsed, and then we can take a reading, both the temperature and the humidity on lines 44 and 45, then create a string value via concatenation on line 46, and that's the data that we're going to send via SMS. On line 47, we log that information out, and then on line 48, we begin the SMS sending process. So we open a connection for that phone number, send the message out, and then end that connection. And then we notify that SMS was sent. So let's power up our microcontroller. Yeah, we can see our microcontroller here. So we can upload our sketch. Okay, our sketch is done. So let's see if we have any luck with our network. So we see that our ENV shield has been initialized. Okay, we couldn't initialize the modem at the moment, so we'll try that out some other time. Okay, we're back and we can see that our modem eventually initialized and then it got a temperature and humidity reading, which is this, and then it sent out an SMS. And let's wait for a minute and see if it sends out a second SMS. Yeah, so it sent out a second SMS, and that's it.
So we've uploaded our sketch and we can see that it's connected. We have a GPRS connection and we have this ready status. We've been able to read out the temperature and humidity from the ENV sensor, and we've connected to the server and we've sent a payload. So let's switch over to the webhook site and we can see that we've received 3 different payloads at 3 different times, 1 minute interval. And we can see the raw content, we can see the JSON format, we can see our temperature and our humidity readings, and we can see additional details at the upper part of the screen. And that's it.